Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Lovely to see you all, as always. And let's begin by going straight into the superpower state. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, or leave them open if you prefer, and go into your superpower state, however you normally do that. So by repeating your word or phrase, or using your anchor, or focusing in on everything you love and appreciate about your subject. Very good. And feel your heart opening, your chest expanding, that opening feeling as that light, that energy shines out from you. Very good. And now allow that light or energy to spread down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're now full of that light, that energy, that love. Good job. Now allow that light or energy to fill each of the 50 trillion cells that make up your body. Love each one just for existing. Very good. And allow that light or energy to fill the little you, yourself as a child, any age. Loving that child just for existing. Very good. And allow that light or energy to overflow from that little you and fill your whole childhood. Everything, everyone, every experience, every circumstance, every event, shining that light into any darkness, loving it all exactly as it is, feeling that power. And every time you do this, that little you gets stronger and stronger, amping up that power. Good job. And now allow that light or energy to fill everyone who's on the call today, all those who are on camera, all those who are off camera today, loving each one just for existing. And allowing yourself to receive the love, the light, the energy from everyone else. Loving you exactly as you are. Good job. You can open your eyes now. I've just realized I forgot to put lipstick on today. So excuse my pale lips today, everyone. All right, let's check in with each person, find out how you're doing. Katrina, you're first up on my screen. How are you today?
Yes, for the first time, I feel great.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
So, yes, after that work that we done yesterday, but able to speak or finding your voice or whatever, I just took the bull by the horns and I spoke to Sue there, and it was okay, whatever way it went, which was
good.
So yeah. So the other thing I want to say, which I think has changed everything for me. So by using the Renward method, I spoke to Steve about this word work. Just this word work, just, oh my God, don't mention it. So I wrote down this sentence, and from this sentence, my whole life is now clicking into place.
Good.
So can I read it out?
Please do, yes.
Yeah, okay. So the thing was, you have to earn your own money. You have to stand on your own 2 feet, and you have to be responsible for yourself. And when I said that to myself a couple of days ago, that was Oh my God, you might as well have killed me. So the statement opened up the floodgates of I am lost. I don't know what to do. I'm devastated. I'm deflated. I'm disempowered. And all of this brought me to my friend at boarding school. When I arrived, she gave me the news. I could not be her friend. She was the only lifeline to love that I had. So my world fell apart. That was like, and that is really, really so true. I felt 100% safe when I had her connection, and now I was disconnected. So, through all this work, I'm now able to be, heal that and ready to rewrite the story and ready to step into the new chapter of my life.
Yay! Fantastic, Katrina. And well done for, number one, well done for doing the work, because that, we all have resistance to doing it. And those who persist and do whatever it takes to find a way around or over or through the resistance get the results. And I'm so excited for you and so proud of you, because you are a fabulous example of persistence. And regardless of, the challenges came up, but you reached out and you took our advice. And I am so proud of you, so excited for you. And thank you for sharing that, because it'll help encourage others as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Yay.
Is there more ordeal?
Well,
I need more.
More? Well, I mean,
I would love more. In that, how would you rewrite that story in a sentence, as in, this is what happened? Because that story has come up quite a few times. Yes. About my friend.
Because it made a huge imprint on you, because it was such a, when we have experiences, and they don't have to be actually life-threatening, but when we have experiences that are shocking, that are surprise, unexpected, that kind of thing, and it's a negative one, the way we're designed for survival is that it imprints much more powerfully on us than other experiences. And that's the survival mechanism. That's so that we don't go near that cave again in case we die from the bear attacking us. So we're designed that way. And that's why that particular incident is so, I don't want to say stubborn, but so entrenched, because it was such a shock, and it was so the opposite. And you didn't have the love, the support, the what you needed at home. So like you say, she was your lifeline. So of course you want to change that. So let's look at what's still left of that. So when you think of that, I know you've changed the memory, but when you think of that now, that experience at boarding school, what's still there, what's still left? And even if it doesn't seem to make sense.
No, it's like it's dead, buried, and it's, what are you talking about? It's, you know what I mean? It's, I'm at peace with all of it. It's gone. I can't even bring it back.
Okay, good.
I can't resurrect it. The pain of it is all gone.
Okay. So what's happening in that memory now? So the new memory, when you arrived at boarding school, what happened?
Oh, you told me to rewrite it, that she was delighted to see me. She was out waving, I was waving, and it was all happy, happy, happy. Yes. So that's still there if I think about that, yes.
Good. Okay, so that's good. So now, any negativity left in that memory at all? And if not, that's okay, we'll move forward.
Well, the bit that I didn't read out was, she didn't approve of me. So this is the little 11-year-old writing this. She didn't approve of me. So why should I approve of me? She won. As in, I really gave up then at 11.
Yes. You made a pact then yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's probably something there, a wee bit there maybe.
Yes, very good. All right. So when you think how, let's start here. How do you know she disapproved of you?
Just because she wouldn't be my friend, or she, and the other girl that I asked for to be a friend, and she said, no, there's too many in my group, go and form your own group or whatever.
Right. Right. Okay. And so what's stopping you from just having her approve of you and be excited? And in fact, she asks you, both of those girls, they're asking you to join them, not the other way around. They're saying, oh, I want Katrina in my group. And the other one says, no, that's not fair. You've got plenty of people in your group. Katrina is my friend. What happens when you think about changing it to that?
She's still saying, look, that didn't happen. You
Good.
weren't there.
Good. Yeah. Okay. So let's answer the conscious mind first, which is whether that happened or not doesn't matter because it's not happening right now, and those people aren't inside your head. So this is just neurons firing now, and you can make them fire in any pattern you choose. So yes, that's what originally happened, and that's the network, the neural network that was neural networks that were established then. But you can change it as you please right now because there are no memory police. All right, so that's answering the conscious mind, the logic of it, of you weren't there. Okay. And that's not how it happened. So now let's look at that feeling of so tell me what emotion is there right now when you think of it. They didn't want you to be, the one said, I've got too many people in my group, you go and make your own group, and the friend that, whatever's left of your friend not disapproving of you. What's the emotion there?
It was a shock. It was a shock that they didn't want me.
Yes.
It was a surprise. I thought, I just wasn't ready for that. I just wasn't. I don't know what it is.
So,
yeah.
That shock, that's okay. So that shock, that surprise that it wasn't what you were expecting. I want you to notice where in your body you feel that shock, that surprise. What's the physical sensation of that without giving it any meaning? And if you can't feel it, that's okay. You can just say so.
It's some kind of just a sort of a tingle sort of just went zzz through the body.
Good. Okay. So let's take a moment. Really put yourself back there. Think about the fact that you thought they were going to want you as their friend and they didn't. That shock, that surprise, tell me if you can feel that now. You can, clearly, yes. Okay, very good. All right, that was quick. Okay, so that now notice that feeling, where in your body you feel it. And so no meaning to it now. We're just going to home in on the physical sensation.
Mm-hmm.
You got it? The physical sensation. You've got your elbows on a table, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you feel the physical sensation of your elbow on the table?
Yes. Yeah.
Good. So now I want you to home in on the physical sensation of that feeling of, I thought they would want me as their friend and they didn't. Where in your body are you feeling that? I'm guessing it's not your elbow. What do you think?
It's this word, annoyance, seems to be attached to everything. So I'm annoyed that, I suppose, that I held on to it.
Right. Yes. And so, yeah, and the reason, so the annoyance is a survival technique. The annoyance is a coping mechanism, number one. And number two, you held on to it, just to address the conscious mind here, you held on to it because that's all you knew. So you didn't have any other way of coping, way of survival. So there's no judgment there. It's just that that's all you knew. So in other words, if a child is floating in a pool and they're going to drown, they'll grab the first thing, the only thing they know. So if it's, if it's a log or another kid or whatever, they'll grab whatever they can to survive. So there's no judgment there. So number one. Okay, so let's look at this. This looks like it's got an earlier reference. And so the feeling of surprise that they didn't, that feeling of shock, surprise, where earlier did you experience that? I thought they'd want me, but they didn't want me.
Before 11.
Mm-hmm. If there is, and if there isn't, that's also okay. The fact that it's tricky to change indicates to me that there must be an earlier reference, an anchor of some kind. And if you say the first thing that comes to your mind, even if it doesn't seem to have any connection or make sense, if you let me know anyway, because if it's coming up, your subconscious has connected it.
Well, there was something to do with the brothers, and we're all out on the ponies, and there's cousins, and there was mainly more boys. Mm-hmm. And but the ponies had to be exercised, so I was thrown onto something to exercise it, but they didn't want me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know, that can't be it.
Why can't that be it?
Because that's not a shock or surprise, it's not.
That's okay. That's okay. If it's come up, it's linked, right? So the fact that they didn't want you, that's huge. So because here's how it could be connected, is that was an early experience of not being wanted. Then you thought you were wanted by your friend, but it replays itself. You thought you were safe, and then you weren't. So just give me a little bit of an indication, that time when you were out with the ponies and it was mainly boys and they didn't want you with them. How do you know they didn't want you with them? Or how did you know at that point?
It was something like, look, there's no need for you to be here. You just go on home now.
Right.
Quite a few fields away, and it was like, sort of.
Yeah. And about how old were you then, approximately?
I know, but I would have thought that would have been older, not younger than 11.
That's okay. So when they said, you go on home now, there's no need for you to be here, what reaction did you have? How did you feel? What happened next?
I actually done something in that I went over a field, or pretended I went over a jump or something, and I left the pony on one side and I was on the other side. Like, I'm sort of making this up, and started to cry and help. There's nothing wrong with me. And right. They came back, and when they came back, I was laughing.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's not it.
No, keep going. So when they came back to check on you, you were laughing, and what happened next?
Oh, I smiled or whatever, but the oldest brother went into a fit of rage.
There it is. Yes. And what happened next?
Well, probably you'll not be able to come with us again. That's it. You're bored, or you're.
Yeah. And how did that feel? How did you react to that? What was your feeling there?
Yeah, I felt. Yeah, I don't know what I felt. Yeah, all those things there.
There it is.
Yeah, probably.
Perfect, Katrina. So because it makes sense, because so they, you thought that you had a way of getting them to accept you, to take you with them. And you thought it was a good idea. You thought this will do it. This is a good idea. I know what I'll do. And so you did the fall, you faked the fall, and you thought it was really clever, especially when they came back. That proved that it worked. And so you were smiling. The fact that you were smiling indicates you were expecting a very different reaction from them than you got. Right?
Yeah.
So what were you were expecting what from them? If you can remember. If you can't, doesn't matter.
I was expecting, maybe I wasn't smiling. I was expecting them to be, oh, Katrina, like we're really mean, and that's not fair. There is no other girl cousins, and come on.
Yes, that's it. Isn't that perfect? You were expecting that, and what you got instead was ostracization. I don't know whatever that word is. you were rejected, right? And you were told, not only are you rejected now, you're not allowed to come with us again. So there's the link. You see that link?
I'm here to please, yes, but no.
You don't see the link. It doesn't matter. I'm enjoying myself. So you just say exactly what you think, and I'm happy to. Never worry about what I'm thinking or feeling, because I love what I do, so it really doesn't matter. So do you see that link or not yet? And if not, that's perfectly fine. I can clarify it.
I need a little bit more. Now that I know how to ask questions and ask for a little bit more.
Good, Katrina. Thank you for asking for more. Because also, if you aren't quite if it's not clear for you yet, it's probably not clear for other people as well. So you asking for more is helping others as well. So so in that experience, there's a few pieces there. The first piece is you wanted to go with them, and you thought you could go with them, and they wanted to send you home. Clearly, they made it clear they didn't want you with them. That's piece number one. The second piece is that you thought you had an idea, a solution that would make them realize that maybe they would react like, oh, no, what's happened? Oh, thank goodness you're okay. Come with us. That was the expectation there. And again, it was an even higher level of, we don't want you with us. So there's the next piece of it. So now we go to the boarding school, and whether this happened before or after boarding school, the fact that your subconscious has brought it up means it's an anchor. It's holding the boarding school memory in place, because this is an extra piece of evidence that you're not wanted, or that this is true, that this is who you are and how the world works. So we definitely want to change it. So you get to boarding school, the boarding school memory, and it's another piece of evidence where you expect someone to go, oh, hi, it's so great to see you, however that was supposed to play out. And it's the same thing. They don't want you with them. She doesn't want you with her. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. All right. So we want to change the incident with the ponies, and we want stepping stones there. So the first stepping stone is it's the same scenario, and you get to where you fall, or you fake the fall, and they come and they do exactly what you were expecting them to do, which is, oh, come with us. We were mean and it wasn't fair, and there aren't any other girl cousins. You come with us. It'd be fun to have you with us, or whatever that is, whatever feels good. Mm-hmm. All right. That's your first stepping stone. You practice that until it's established. Second stepping stone is that you are wherever you were, and where they say go back, they don't say go back. They say, come on, come with us. Oh, didn't realize you were there. Come with us, or something like that. Whatever would have been the perfect thing for that little you, whatever she was expecting to happen. Mm. All right. And then the final memory, what I would do for the final memory is that when they are setting out, they call you. They say, Katrina, come on, we're going, come with us. And you say, well, yeah, please come with us. We really, you're such fun, or however, whatever would establish that feeling of they are asking you, not the other way around. Okay. All right. So the two stepping stones are about you asking and getting what you want, what you expect, what you hope for. And then the final memory is about you not even needing to ask, because they want you enough to ask you.
Wow. That sounds wonderful. Wow.
So that, and then, sorry, Steve, I just want one more thing. Once you've done that and you've established that, then come back to the boarding school memory and check that new memory again. Sorry, Steve.
No, I was just gonna, the one clarifying piece that is still there for me is, what pact did little Katrina make at the boarding school? What was that pact that earlier on, I thought I heard you say this, and I may have been engaged in typing something else, but was there something there that you made? Whose fault was it that the girls didn't want to have anything to do with you?
It was their fault.
Okay, because what I was just wondering, from that experience of being with the cousins, was there a belief system that got established there that I did something that they don't want me to be around anymore?
I know, but that doesn't fit with the boarding school. My cousin, it was the other girls were dictating to her that I wasn't allowed to be her friend. It wasn't Margaret, genuinely, it wasn't her, but she was pressurized.
Yeah.
You know, I was a year younger than Margaret, you see.
Yes. Yes.
So in that situation, what you may also want to do is to rewrite the story for Margaret at the boarding school.
But we sort of done that. Odile helped me with that, in that the friends were all out waiting for me coming. I arrived up,
Okay.
they were jumping and whatever.
Okay. So yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cloud the water. It was just a little bit of a clarity thing for me.
I'm glad you checked it, Steve. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Katrina. So how does that feel now?
Yeah, hopefully, yes, I have to do it again. Thank God for the recordings. When I go back over it, it'll all sort of fit into place for me.
That's it. Yes. So when you go over the recording, just practice that. Practice that. You can just keep replaying that bit where I talk you through it. Create those memories. Well done, and thank you so much for sharing this. Really, I cannot tell you how valuable it is that you are willing to speak out and ask for more when you need it, because you're doing it for everybody, not just yourself.
Wow, thank you. I thought I was only going to be on for a minute. There we go.
But this content is so valuable, so empowering for people we'll never even know about who watch these recordings.
Okay.
So very good. Thank you, Katrina.
Thank you, Odile.
You're very welcome, sweetheart. All right. And then Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hello. Thank good thoughts Thursday and thankful.
Hey.
So this is from your book, You Have a Superpower. Okay, so when you consider we're all connected on a quantum level and that the electromagnetic activity in our hearts affects the world around us, it's not a stretch to understand that this activity also affects the people around us. The vibrations of our heart expand as far as science has been able to measure, which is several feet and beyond. This means, of course, that you are constantly overlapping with people and your heart vibrations are therefore interacting with theirs, which is so cool, because when I was watching the Superhuman, I was practicing yesterday with a blindfold last night, and I got into the unconditional love state, and it was so powerful that right away I saw everything around me 360 degrees. It was really cool. And so we were told in the class to constantly, like in this class where we say, you love it no matter what. Like if you make a boo-boo or something, it's like, oh, that's good. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. So it's always positive reinforcement, and it's just like that. So what was interesting was when I was watching Superhuman, the cells singing So our cells are singing in a really glorious way when we're doing this. So I think that's so fascinating.
Yes, indeed.
So anyway, that's it.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Yeah. And it is wonderful when you start to put those pieces together. You know, when you start to recognize that it all fits together with the unconditional love and the other techniques and the quantum physics and the infovision and all of the other stuff, the energy work, everything fits together perfectly. And the core of it for me is that state of unconditional love, because that helps to clear away any programs that may be in the way of you actually being open to that kind of stuff and being able to tune in. So good job, Lisa. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
And Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hello. Oh, that's so good. Well, I don't quite know where Lenny the worry lion fits into the quantum field, but I'm sure there's a place for him somewhere, because he eats up worries, and I'm one of those people who benefit from you know, like you give examples of using metaphor, which is wonderful. So props and objects of reference are really good for me, as well as metaphor. So just in case anybody else needs a worry lion or any sort of worry, to help them with anything allowing. I think I've got an Ali, the allowing cat, somewhere too. So it's a little something for us.
Very.
But I've got a little question. I did a due justice letter, which did brought up a lot of things I was never aware of, things such as not being looked at, not being sheltered enough in childhood, not even allowing to be a child.
Yeah.
Anyway, having to grow up too soon. So that's what the value, you know, and we always talk about value of due justice letters, and that was good. But the question is this. I was quite struck. I mean, I haven't written one for a few months, and when I started writing it, I was suddenly, whoa, went in quite deeply. Yes. And a voice was saying, "Oh, but you can allow that. You can allow that." But I didn't want to allow it. I just wanted to be angry. Well, I wasn't just angry. I was screaming with tears. I was really emotional.
Yes.
So I was, which bit of that will I allow? I don't, anyway, just.
Good.
How do you react to that?
Excellent question, Chris. Thank you so much for bringing this up. Okay, because this is very important to create clarity on. So the due justice technique, that when you're writing those due justice letters, that is not the time to do the allowing.
Good.
Absolutely not. Yeah, no allowing during the due justice. The due justice is fighting, is, you know, that's you got your fists up, you're just annihilating the enemy. And because it's that part of you that it needs to do that. So in a way that is allowing, it's allowing it's of a different kind. Yes. It's allowing that child in you to finally, number one, have their say, and number two, have someone stand up for them. Finally, someone standing up for me. And justice is being done. So thank you for bringing that up. So due justice is not the time for that allowing exercise. And but what it can do is, just like the due justice clears the way, clears the block, so that you're able to create new memories, it can also clear the way and clear the block so that you're able to do the allowing exercise later, but not at that time. Yeah. So good question, and thank you, Chris, for that. Excellent. Yay! Very good. And Swasti, you're next up on my screen. How are you today?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to start off by saying, for the grades that I got, I'm so grateful that you helped me with them, because they're opening up doors not in ways that I could see before. So, like, so I wanted to do this like online tutoring for disadvantaged children, which I'm like doing now. I'm just starting that off. But they asked for my grades, and I needed like certain grades to do that. So I'm now doing maths tutoring, and I'm so happy about that. Yeah.
I am so excited for you, Swasti, and what a beautiful example of how we can't see how things are going to, we can't see the options until we turn the corner. We can't see round the corner. So good job, you.
Yeah, it's really good because it's not like usually people of my age don't actually do that. It's like graduates, and because they need certain qualifications, because it's quite a good tutoring agency. It's voluntary but still really good. But yeah, it's really good.
Fantastic. And those experiences, so you're going to enjoy it, of course, and in addition to that, what you will learn from, I'm getting waves of goosebumps as I'm saying this, but what you will learn, even on an unconscious level, from those experiences that you have while you're tutoring, it is just invaluable and so exciting. And that is going to affect your future, everything you do, including the exams you do, the applications you do, and everything moving forward. That is so exciting. I am just over the moon for you.
Thank you. Without this, without you, it wouldn't have happened.
Oh, and I'm so proud of you because, again, I've said this before, we offer this information and these tips and techniques, but we can't do it for anyone. So the fact I have huge respect and praise for all of you who actually do it, who actually override any resistance and go ahead and do it anyway and reach out for help when you need it. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Good job, you.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes, but then it's almost like hacking that Andrew Carby delayed gratification, instant gratification thing, because you're doing it so you do get immediate results, but it's also long term. It's really cool. It's really cool. But I had a quick question. So like my cousin in India, the one who's always my references and things, he's also trying to get into a college there, like a engineering or mechanics, computer science type one. But he has actually the same issue that I have. So I found this pretty cool. So he has the grades he needs, but he didn't get a good IQ exam result as well. So he got average as well. So I was wondering, is that something to do with like us being raised in the same way? Because we both grew up with my grandparents and my auntie for a certain number of years, which was like at quite a young age, so below 7 years old.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to go about that.
So possibly, but not necessarily. So let's have a quick look at him. So how is he in general? How's his emotional health? How's he, is he happy? Is he a positive kind of person? What's he like? Just briefly.
Well, it's pretty laid back. He gets angry pretty quickly. So do I.
Good. And how does he approach these exams, these tests? How does he feel about them?
Well, I don't know. I didn't specifically talk to him. I just heard like my parents talk to him. But I think he would take it. Like when I was there and for some time, he was preparing for his chemistry exam, and I found chemistry ridiculously hard. But he was like, "Oh yeah, it's easy. You can just do this. You just learn this. It's easy." Yeah. But I think in that respect, he probably didn't prepare enough either. So.
Right. So the reason he is getting that kind of score, and that may or may not be the same reason. So, but he may have different coping skills, because kids can grow up in the same family, in the same household, and experience the same events, and yet become have different results because of what else is in there and the way their brain has interpreted, their subconscious has interpreted and added to it. So it varies quite dramatically sometimes. So he may have something, and I don't know enough about him to know, but for an example, maybe that laid backness may be a protection mechanism, of not being disappointed, or he may have procrastination for preparing for things because he's staying in alignment with something from his childhood.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah. That's good then. So yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any other questions, or was that it?
Yeah, but I don't know if this is the correct time to address it because I just don't feel so good about it. But so, since like yesterday, I've been feeling really guilty of eating, and at several points I thought of eating and then vomiting it out, which I know is a mental disorder. Like that's an eating disorder. And then at other points I was like, oh, I can exercise whilst eating, and it will like not go as fat in my body. Yeah.
Okay, this is very, very important to address. So thank you for addressing it anyway. And so let's have a look, because there's a few possibilities here. So let's look at, first of all, what's wrong with eating. Like when you were eating and you say you didn't want to be eating, but you were eating. What's wrong with eating it in the first place?
Well, at that point I was eating ice cream, which I didn't want to be eating, so it's sugar again.
Okay, so you didn't want to eat the ice cream because it's sugar, and what's wrong with sugar?
Well, sugar's like, if you can quit sugar, your weight will be really good. Like it will be stable.
Okay, and how do you know that?
Oh, I don't know, just videos online of people quitting sugar for a year and then being like, yeah, I didn't do any exercise, but look at my weight and stay the same.
Okay, so let's address that, because here's the truth about, and we are not nutritionists, so always consult a professional, but from my knowledge and experience, each person's body is different. So while some people can give up sugar for a year and lose weight and all of that, other people can eat no sugar and still put on weight or stay the same. Okay, so it's sugar is not the thing. It's going to depend on the actual composition of the body and the stress and a whole lot of stuff. So too much sugar, of course, too much of pretty much anything is going to have a negative effect, and too much of anything is usually mental, is usually emotional rather. Usually there's an emotional connection. Now, so let's look at the ice cream. How many gallons of ice cream were you eating?
I ate one and I couldn't really finish the whole thing.
1 gallon?
No, one ice cream.
One ice cream, and you couldn't actually finish it. So, and how often do you eat ice cream? Like, when was the last time you ate ice cream other than this time?
I can't remember.
So not recently then,
No.
not like earlier that day. My son, when my son was 2 years old, I think he was, we went to a fair place, and he said, can I have an ice cream? And I said, yes. And we had an ice cream, and we went on some rides, and then we passed the ice cream truck again. And he said, can I have an ice cream? And I said, you've already had one. And he said, yes, but I don't know it anymore. So it was like, nice try. So it wasn't like that where you already had, right. So I suspect that the fact that there was sugar in that ice cream is not actually an issue, because you had one ice cream, you didn't even finish it all, and that's not a huge amount of sugar in one go, right?
No.
Okay, so now let's look at why do you want to lose weight? What's wrong with weight? What's wrong with your weight the way it is?
No, it's not like there's nothing wrong with my weight. Well, okay, kind of, but like I just want to maintain the weight. So before, like whenever I have exams, before lockdown, I did gain weight because whenever I have exams, it's always stress eating crazily.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
And then during this lockdown, I exercised every single day, and I liked that. And then I lost like muffin tops and hip dips and things. Now they're coming back, like just like a little bit, and I'm just like, oh, I want to maintain that body.
Okay, very good. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to be be healthy and that. So two pieces we want to look at here. Number one, stress eating, and number two, any references for being overweight. How do you know it's not good to have a muffin top, for example? What's wrong with a muffin top?
I think it was, well, what comes up now is my auntie was always struggling. Like the auntie I lived with was always struggling with her weight.
That's it. So
she got judged, yeah.
That you've got that programming. Do you see that? So it doesn't matter whether you're fat or thin, you will still have that programming. It's not to do with your weight. And this is how, when you mentioned eating disorders, this is the kind of reference where, we look at someone who looks slim and healthy, but they're going, oh, I'm so fat. and I can't eat this and I can't eat that. And the reason is because they've got that program running unconsciously that no matter what, this is the way to be in the world. You constantly battling with weight. That's just life. That's who I am and how the world works, because they learned it from experiencing it or watching it, witnessing it, something like that. So that makes sense, number one. So now the second part is the stress eating. So when you have you've got the anxiety about the exams, and so you want to, what do you identify as stress eating? How are you experiencing the stress eating? How do you know it's stress eating? Put it that way.
Yeah, so I'll go into the kitchen after having done a revision session and I don't understand something, or it's not going in, or I know that I got something wrong. And then I'll stand in the kitchen and I won't be able to get out for 15 minutes because I'm continuously eating. And then I realize afterwards, oh my God, I'm so full.
Right. Okay, good. So now let's go back. And where in your childhood did you experience food connected to stress or challenges or problems? So what we're looking for is anything where someone went, oh, never mind, have this, gave you food to cheer you up or to help you get over something, to help you make you feel better, anything like that. And if there isn't anything, that's okay.
Yeah, I think it was like everybody who I lived with in India, so my grandparents and my auntie would, just to cheer you up, they would take you to like what was their town centre. That's where we would go.
Perfect.
Okay.
So do you see the link there?
Yeah.
Because what it's not about the food. It's about the emotional reassurance, the emotional comforting, and your brain connected it with food. And a lot of us have this because it is a very common thing. Oh, well, never mind, I'll buy you an ice cream. Never mind, here, have some chips. We'll go to McDonald's or whatever. And what happens is it's not about in that moment. It's especially if it happens a few times, but it can be just once, as long as it was a very intense emotional experience. The brain makes that connection between feeling better emotionally and whatever was happening at the time, the people, the food, the drinks, the whatever was there. Make sense?
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
So then moving forward, your brain craves whatever those substances are, so that it then produces, because as you have that substance, it triggers the release of endorphins, serotonin, oxytocin, and dopamine. Make sense?
Yeah.
Good. So now we can change it. So now you go to those memories of whatever that was, your grandparents taking you out, whatever, and instead of whatever, so play the memory through with the food, then hold that, home in on the emotions, the reassurance, the encouragement, whatever emotions were there, that comfort, that never mind, that feeling, home in on that, and then take out the food, and you can replace it with something else. And you can replace it with anything that you would like. So you can replace it with glasses of iced water. You can replace it with a game. You went to the fun fair. You went to watch a movie. There's a comedy. There's music. You can replace it with anything else that you would like to introduce into your life that's healthy. So, and I'll give you an example of this. My kind of equivalent of that, I replaced food, because chocolate for me. So I would eat chocolate compulsively for that feeling of comforting myself, feeling better. Somehow it seemed to make me feel better. And my mum used to say, oh, never mind, we'll go and have a cake. We'll go and have some chocolate cake and coffee to make me feel better. Or if we had to go to the dentist or do something that wasn't pleasant, she would say, never mind, afterwards we'll go and it was usually food, usually a treat, some sort of food treat. So I then replaced it with water. And so then whenever I felt stressed, I would go to the kitchen like you did, and I would drink a glass of water. And I remember I was in the middle of arguments. I was in a very tumultuous, conflictual relationship. And there would be this huge argument and I'd be furious, and then I'd go and get a glass of water.
Oh.
That would make me feel better. And because my brain then linked it with the water. So that's how, so link it with something like that. Nice glass with ice in it, you know, water with ice in it. So nice and cool and fresh. Put that in that early memory. Those early memories of your grandparents taking you. So you all went to wherever you went to, and there were these glasses of iced water, and then home in on the senses, on the tinkling of the water, the tinkling of the water, of the ice cubes, the cold, the icy cold water, the freshness, and the connection between all of you. Make sense? And then practice that, and then when you find yourself in the kitchen, tell yourself, so don't say you're not allowed to eat, because that just makes it, that you'll just keep, you know, you'll just argue with yourself. Tell yourself you can eat, but you're going to have water first. You're going to have a glass of iced water with ice cubes in it first, and then you can eat if you still want to eat. And if you have the water and then you think, oh, I don't need to eat right now, then that's okay. Then go, okay, then when I come back next time, I'll have water again. And if I really want to eat, I can eat, so that you're not creating that conflict with yourself.
Okay.
All right, because that's also a chemical state of I'm not allowed to, but I want to, and all of that is a whole other thing. And you can also, when you feel like I want to eat, you can play the new memory as well, the new memories of you with your grandparents and the iced water, and then have a glass of iced water. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds really good. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And in addition to that, of course, change your aunt. That the aunt was not struggling with weight. She was always fit and healthy, and you had glasses of iced water. You put some lemon in it, put an umbrella in it, you know, whatever's fun.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you.
Any issues with weight? Good job, Swasti, and thank you for sharing that, because I know that's going to help others as well.
Okay.
Good job, you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Pardon?
Everyone's going to be addicted to ice water after this.
Yes. Well, I am. That's what I love. So I don't eat in the evening. I'll have supper early, and then unless we're going out for dinner with friends or something, or away, in the evenings I have glasses of iced water from the fridge with ice cubes in it, and I love that. I sip it, just sip on it. And for me, my brain is now connected that I look forward to that. And I don't have I drink water throughout the day, but I don't have the glass with the ice and the iced water in it, except in the evenings when I don't want to be eating.
Oh, okay.
All right. Sound good?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Very welcome, Swasti. All right. And Sadia. Hi, Sadia. How are you today?
Hi, everyone. I'm doing fine. So I do not have a question. That's good news. I just want to express again, but I can't. It's not going to be enough to tell it. Like, I'm so grateful for knowing about the RAM method. Like, I noticed like two things. It would have been like such difficult and a very long-term fight to address my fears on a conscious level. Yes. So knowing about what I can do with my subconscious is huge, powerful. And I also noticed, and I wanted to share that, probably that would be helpful for everyone who's on the call, that I said actually to address or to develop a more, I would say, healthy automatic answers to situation that triggers me or bothers me. Like, as you were saying to Katrina, like I'm more aware that there is like nothing or nobody that can make me feel bad unless there's something in there. So it's not outside that I should look, but inside, like notice, analyze without judgment, find a reference, and then change it. So I can't express how grateful I am. Thank you.
Fantastic. And isn't that empowering?
Yes. What's more empowering is now that I know that I can change the reference, because I was like, okay, yeah, I listen to the feeling, what it tells me, now what I do with it. So now knowing that I can change it is definitely.
Isn't that wonderful? And it doesn't need to take long.
Yeah.
And it gets quicker and quicker as well. The more you progress, the more you do it, it'll get quicker and quicker and easier and more empowering. Yay, Sadia. Thank you so much for sharing that, because again, we so appreciate when we get the feedback. Number one, it's wonderful for us to hear, but number two, to help encourage others to keep going when it feels like it's difficult, or it feels like it's not working, or you feel you've got resistance. It's important to keep going, and hearing this kind of feedback from all of you who share the feedback, it helps to encourage and give others hope as well. Yay! Thank you. Good job. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so very proud of you. Good job. All right. And Steve, are there any questions from the chat?
No questions, but I think a good comment just on the heels of working with Swasti. Sorry, I was scrolling here. I don't know why I've lost the comment from Ilya. To see if you can find it real quickly, but
Answering Swasti, I see it.
Yeah. Maybe a stepping stone first, that your auntie was overweight, but she was confident with her body, and people adored her and always spoke with love about her and her looks. I just thought that was awesome.
That is fabulous. Thank you, Ilya. Ilya always comes up with such great suggestions. She really does. So thank you very much, Ilya. And that's a beautiful stepping stone there. That whoever you're changing in your mind, that they were perfect as they were as well. So good job. Yay. And are we ready to do targeting then? Fantastic. So everybody take a deep breath and either close your eyes or leave them open, whichever you prefer. And go into that superpower state, using your word or phrase or your anchor, or by focusing in on everything you love and appreciate about your subject. Very good. And start to feel your heart opening, that expansion feeling in your chest. Allowing that light, that energy, that love to shine out from you. And then allow that light or energy to spread down to your toes, up to the top of your head, and out to your fingertips. So you're now full of that light, that energy, that love. Very good job. And then allow that light or energy to fill each of the 50 trillion cells that make up your body. Love each cell just for existing. Very good. And now allow that light or energy to fill your subject, loving your subject exactly as they are. And then imagine your subject doesn't want to be with you, or doesn't have the qualities that you love and admire and appreciate, and keep them filled with that light, that energy anyway. Love them anyway, no matter what. Good job. And now let's go to Lisa. Fill Lisa with that light, that energy. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Lisa just for existing. Very good. Good job. And now to Chris. Fill Chris with that same light, that energy. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips. Love Chris just for existing. Good job. And now to Sadia. Fill Sadia with that same light, that energy. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips, love Sadia just for existing. Very, very good. And then to Swasti. Fill Swasti with that same light, that energy. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips, love Swasti just for existing. Now allow that light, that energy to overflow from Swasti and fill her cousin, loving her cousin exactly as they are without needing to change. And the entrance, her cousin's entrance into a computer science, engineering, mechanics college, and the arranging of the fees. Shine this light into all of that no matter what happens. So whether her cousin gets in or doesn't, whether the arranging of the fees goes well or not, shining this light into any darkness and loving it all exactly as it is and no matter what. And remember that this is an ideal opportunity to practice your own ability to aim unconditional love at something you don't want by using someone else's target. So loving it all exactly as it is, even the worst case scenario, shining the light into darkness. Very, very good. And now to Katrina. Send love to Katrina. Fill Katrina with that same light, that energy. From the tips of her toes to the top of her head and out to her fingertips, love Katrina just for existing. Very, very good. Good job. And now to everyone who's off camera today and all those who are watching the recording, fill each one with this light, this energy, this love, loving them just for existing and no matter what, exactly as they are. And feeling your own power amping up as you do that. Good job. And now think of yourself later today, whatever you'll be doing, whatever you'll be feeling, whatever you'll be experiencing. Loving this, loving that version of you anyway, filling that version of you with this light, this energy, this love, no matter what. Exactly as you are. And surge. Very good. And surge again. Good job. All right, you can open your eyes if you have them closed. And well done, everyone. That was a really good session. Thank you all for thank you to all of those who contribute and share, and those who are just listening in. We appreciate you being here as well. I love to see your names there, so I very much appreciate you showing up. And you have a fantastic rest of your day. And we will see you back same time, same place tomorrow. And congratulations to those of you who shared such great feedback today. Lots of love. Bye-bye now.